Hello, welcome to this first video in this series on how to get your first job out of college. Now, the very first key to getting your first job out of college is to start with the end in mind. What is it that you start with the end in mind? Right from the get-go, the very first day that you signed up in college for whatever course or program you decided to study, you have to have in mind what it is that you want to do with that degree or with that education as soon as you're done. Now, there are three aspects of starting with the end in mind. The first aspect is long term. What do you want to be doing when you get to the end of your life? Because that decision, if you're able to visualize and see it, is going to help you inform the decision of what you study in college. Now, if you've already completed college and you're currently looking for a job, think about that. Think about what career or what profession you want to be in towards the end of your life. That's the first aspect. The second aspect of starting with the end of mind is midterm. Maybe 5-10 years from now, what do you see yourself doing? It's very important that you ask those questions even before you start with that college education, or as soon as you're done with the college education, you really start asking yourself those questions. It is something that I did for myself right before I even enrolled to get my first degree. I have 2 degrees. A bachelor's in computing and its practice from the UK, and the second in computer information systems from the United States. And I know exactly where I'll see myself towards the end of my life, and I know exactly what I want to be doing and what I want to be doing midterm, meaning in terms of career. That was the second aspect. The third aspect is short term. Now, if you're not yet in school, if you've not yet selected a school, it is important to make sure that the school that you choose is going to match with your expectations, your ambitions, your career goals. That is why you start with the long term first, and then you walk back down towards where you are now and where you're going to be going to school. It is a very simple process, but it makes a tremendous difference in terms of you landing the job that you want when you're done with your studies. That was number 1. Start with the end in mind. Long term, midterm, your career goals, what you want to be doing midlife, and right now, before you even get into school, or making sure that those companies you are looking forward to working with are in alignment with your midterm and long-term objectives. That's about it for the first aspect of how to get your first job out of college. We're now going to go into the second.